Hello. Today we're doing a meditation that goes with session number 11, which is on the 7th of February. And today we're going to do a meditation that's known as the mountain meditation. And I'm just going to give you a little brief introduction and then we're going to get started. So the mountain meditation was written originally by Jon Kabat-Zinn as a way of creating a kind of a meditation metaphor for remaining grounded and remaining embodied as an observer to what goes on in the kind of the weather and the changing environment around us, so that we can develop a more even keel, a kind of sense of equanimity as we relate to the things that go on in our own internal weather and also from the world around us. So in this meditation, we are practicing, as always, being embodied in the breath and in the body, and coming out of the thinking mind and coming into awareness, simply being with whatever arises, watching things as they arise and as they fade in their own way, and perhaps noticing this is where the mind has gone, these are the sensations in the body, but then always just coming back to this thing called awareness, not engaging, not going following, not trying to fix anything or change anything, simply being with whatever is here in this moment. And so the mountain becomes a metaphor for that embodied stillness, with the base of the mountain solid and grounded and connected to the security of the earth, and the peak of the mountain reaching up high to an area where a perspective that gives you this panoramic view, this ability to see the bigger picture. And from that, we find our solid base, a place of safety and security. And we also gain a sense of spaciousness, the ability to step out from all the things that are happening and to simply observe them as events that are happening. And we can even observe the thoughts that arise simply as thoughts. And we can observe any reactions we have simply as an event to be observed with curiosity, with kindness. So the mountain meditation is simply an exploration. It's like a journey of whatever arises moment by moment in this present moment, in this present place. But doing it as if embodying the qualities of the mountain, solid and secure and constant. And this brings us to a new way of knowing, embodied awareness. And through that, we can access the inherent wisdom that is within us all, that we are already complete, we are already whole. And through awareness, we can open up to that inner wisdom that is already here. So for this meditation, you want to be finding a posture that embodies alert, a wakeful awareness. If you prefer lying down, that's okay. You can use the contact with the surface as your grounded base. You can use in your imagination the idea of reaching up like the mountain peak to the panoramic perspective. You could do this cross-legged, if you like sitting cross-legged, and then your body really takes on the shape of the mountain with your wide base grounded and your body through the spine and the head reaching up as if a mountain peak, and your arms become the sides of the mountain. In a chair, as long as you've got your feet grounded on the floor, as long as you feel secure and solid in your base, as always remembering to maintain an upright posture, but relaxed, with the head just gently balanced on the top of the spine. And if you're aware that there's any holding going on or any tension, just breathing into that and relaxing and just maintaining that awareness of embodied stillness and calm. And so we're going to begin perhaps with just a deep and deliberate mindful breath, and lowering the gaze or closing the eyes to look inward. Bringing attention first of all to the posture. And then using the breath just to drop awareness down into the parts of the body that are grounded in contact with the floor or the chair. Just checking in with how it feels in the body and becoming aware of that contact with the earth and imagining the base of the mountain solid and secure. And then bringing attention up to the pelvic area and the spine, imagining an element of uplift of the mountain reaching high, magnificent and strong, to a perspective that allows spaciousness and a panoramic view of the landscape stretching out in all directions. And just using this as an opportunity to check in with any parts of the body. If there's any areas of holding or tension. And if finding any, just breathing into those. And on an out breath, letting that tension go. And then on an in-breath of your choice, bringing attention into the breath, wherever you feel it the strongest. Coming into the physical sensations and using this as a way of entering embodied awareness. Coming into this present moment through the physical sensations of the breath. This may be felt in the belly or in the rib cage or in the nose or perhaps somewhere else. Just wherever those physical sensations are accessible. And beginning by dropping attention just that little bit deeper into following the full duration of each in-breath and each out-breath. How does it feel in the breath today? In this riding the waves of the breath, as if you were floating on the sea, with the natural rise and fall, the sensations of each in-breath and each out-breath. And using this to drop into an awareness that goes beyond thinking, into just being with what is present. And if the mind wanders, because busy minds will wander, using this as an opportunity to just kindly note where the mind goes. Perhaps planning, perhaps worrying, perhaps off on a little story, a memory. Wherever it goes, using this as the practice of becoming familiar with how things are in the body right now. Letting the mind do its thing and then bringing attention back to the breath. This new breath in and this new breath out. Each in-breath a new beginning, and each out-breath a letting go. And holding this breath in awareness, bringing to mind the image of the most beautiful mountain that you know. Magnificent, massive, solid, rising up above all around it. And in your mind's eye, bringing all those little details of the mountain to awareness. Perhaps a snowy peak. Perhaps this mountain has many peaks or even a high plateau. Bringing to mind the cliff faces, the contours, perhaps forests on the sides of your mountain, perhaps rivers or waterfalls, perhaps meadows. As your mountain widens out at the base, solid and rooted into the ground and the earth. And bringing to mind the essence of the mountain, the stillness, the stability, the inner strength, rising up above everything that goes on around about it, with a clear perspective. And holding the image of this mountain in your mind, now imagine embodying that sense of being the mountain, bringing that mountain inside of your embodied awareness. So you and the mountain become one. Where you're in contact with the chair and the floor, you are grounded and strong, like the mountain rooted in the earth's crust. And your spine and your head rise up strong, like the mountain peak, still and constant and stable. Imagining becoming the mountain, becoming a breathing mountain. And at your core, grounded in contact with the floor and the chair, and anchored in the constant rise and fall of the breath. And now bringing to mind that as the mountain sits strong and solid and still, the surface of the mountain is constantly changing. Imagine the changing light from sunrise through sunset, the arc of the sun in the sky, and all the different colours and the different shadows as the light hits the different contours and surfaces of the mountain. And recognizing that the mountain stays present and unchanging as the seasons come and go around it. In winter, encased in snow and ice. In summer, with rivers and meadows and forests teeming with life, the mountain sits unmoving, a witness to all this change, but always grounded, always solid, and always rising above it all. Clear in its panoramic perspective. And even minute to minute, the weather may change. Sometimes the weather is stormy and the mountain is battered by wind and by rain, or perhaps by blizzards and ice storms. But through it all, whatever happens around it, the mountain remains still and serene and strong. And in summer, there may be heat and drought, and still the mountain remains constant. Some days the mountain might even be hidden altogether, encased in cloud or mist. But even within this, the mountain remains solid and strong, a magnificent presence, whole and complete. And like the mountain, as we sit here in embodied awareness, embodying the qualities of the mountain, we have a weather of our own. Day by day and month by month, we witness change. As we sit in meditation, we are witness to thoughts and emotions and feelings that arise and fade. Sometimes these can be light or dark. And just as the mountain sits constant through day and night, we can sit constant in times of lightness and times of darkness. We can witness our own mental storms or fogs, moments of pain and joy. We can witness these as they arise in life, and we can be the mountain. We can observe these as fleeting and ever-changing events, things with their own natural lifespan, and we can remain grounded and solid and anchored in awareness, in stillness, as an observer to events as they unfold. And whatever events may arise, whatever the mental weather, however the seasons may change, however time may pass, we remain the constant witness. And as those events arise, they are there to be witnessed, observed, felt, lived, and honoured, and held in awareness. And in that embodied awareness, met with inner wisdom, that we are complete, that we are whole. And in the wisdom of embodied awareness, the compassionate observer, like the mountain, we are grounded and secure. and we have a clear perspective over the landscape. And so holding ourselves in embodied awareness and being the mountain and embodying the qualities of the mountain, sitting in silence with whatever arises, mental, weather, physical sensations, embodying the qualities of the mountain, the strength, the calm, the constant presence, the equanimity, meeting all with detached awareness, allowing everything to rise and fade in its own way. And just sitting in silence, practicing this mountain meditation in your own way,